Hi, Mario here. First, I want to thank my patrons for supporting my work. Welcome to Chaco Canyon, located in New Mexico, US. Chaco Canyon does not seem to be built with spectacular-looking large megalithic stones. However, our research, by using our method, revealed exciting facts about this very ancient site. I pulled the following text from a website called legendsofamerica.com. Quote, "Today their descendants are members of 20 Indian tribes in New Mexico and Arizona, and many maintain their connections with Chaco today. These tribes include modern-day Pueblo Indians of New Mexico, the Hopi of Arizona, and the Navajo. By the 1600s, the Navajo people primarily occupied the canyon." Unquote. The Hopi Indians have intriguing mythology about the creation of the universe, our solar system, and the Earth. They also have intriguing tales about floods and catastrophes in the ancient past. Events that have many similarities with the catastrophes mentioned in Genesis. We have discovered the reasons behind these catastrophes that flooded the earth, destroyed almost all life on earth. Many people who have researched the ancient structures around the world believe that a cataclysm of some sort struck our planet. Many also believe in the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which is about a comet impact somewhere around Greenland some 12,000 years ago. This impact could indeed have occurred somewhere in the ancient past, but this particular impact could never have been the cause of a worldwide cataclysm. And it is still unproven that this happened exactly 12,000 years ago. Many temperature dips over the last 100,000 years are similar to that of the Younger Dryas, and these dips could not all have been caused by comet impacts. These dips are caused by something else. We have written extensively about this topic on our website. The causes of major catastrophes are massive crustal deformations that cause the geographic pole to migrate. We have proven with our method that these migration patterns can be measured using orientations of ancient sites. We have dated the crustal deformation cycles and pole migrations in a probabilistic way with a certainty of 99.6%. Ancient structures, and that also applies to Chaco Canyon, are originally, and I stress the word originally, much older than always assumed by mainstream science. The age of stone structures extend over a time frame of more than an astonishing 400,000 years. However, because these structures are originally so incredibly old, many renovations were done one on top of another, and this has confused mainstream scientists. That is why site orientation is still the best and most reliable method to determine the age of an ancient structure. It is a method that mainstream science still hasn't discovered. Because we have collected orientation patterns of virtually all known ancient sites around the world, we can say with confidence that these patterns prove overwhelmingly what caused these massive cataclysms. After many years of hard work, we have compiled a huge database and an analysis which leaves no doubt whatsoever as to what exactly happened to the world of our ancient ancestors. We have only started our long journey of discovery that will take a long while to finish. humanity's ancient history is deeply intertwined with that of the Earth, and it is a very, very complex one. The first thing that we did was to look for as many locations in and around Chaco Canyon as we could find. We found 20 locations, some having odd sounding names like Chaco, Pueblo del Arrojo, Pueblo Bonito, Pueblo Alto, Una Vida, Ungo Pavi, Peñasco Blanco, VGG, and so on. The locations we found were referenced regarding their exact location, orientation, and their intersection with the path of an associated pole. These structures seem to be almost randomly oriented and scattered around the landscape. However, there is a pattern, and this pattern is clear. The Chaco Canyon structures follow the migration of the geographic pole with a probability of 98%. 10 out of 20 structures can be correlated with one of the poles 1 to 5. 4 structures of Chaco Canyon, Chaco and the Salmon ruins, correlate with pole 6. But because pole 6 is still unproven, and also because our method has its limitations of plus minus 45 degrees in orientation, these structures are excluded from our method of analysis. They could be much older than the others, and this area might have been inhabited since the beginning of time by Homo sapiens some 450,000 years ago. This area of Chaco Canyon was also at another latitude during the period of poles 5, 4, 3 and 2. At that time it was much milder than it is today. If this area were to be scanned with LiDAR by perhaps using a drone with a LiDAR sensor as its cargo, scanning the whole area, you would be surprised how many structures would be revealed. I suspect that this area was heavily struck by the melting ice caps some 15,000 years ago. Rivers of meltwater ran through this region and flushed away many of the structures that were once located there. Other crustal deformation cycles must be considered the primary causes of destruction. The settlers built the ancient villages back up again following each secondary catastrophe. That is probably why this culture is believed to be very young, because there is no evidence left of the previous cultures. That might also be one of the reasons why the megalithic building quality is not as impressive as in other places around the world. Because the most recent cultures built back up from old remaining foundations with their original orientations, we have mathematical clues of what happened here in the ancient past. The legend of the Hopis, stating that their history involved lost civilizations wiped away by floods, are very real. It might be of benefit to pay more attention to what these ancient cultures tell us, because it might take many decades before science, with their traditional conservative methods and ideas, catches up to the Hopis' true history. However, by that time, it might already be too late. Back to the true ages of Chaco Canyon, we have now 98% proof of the true antiquity of the ancient Chaco Canyon structures. Also, we have developed a second layer of proof in our method, that of back-engineering ancient solstices. And when we can correlate one of these structures with an ancient pole and with ancient solstices at the same time, the probability that we are correct in our conclusions jumps from around 98% up to almost 100%. This weird-looking basin might have been a calendar system that was pointed toward pole 3. To prove this claim, we have to look at possible solstice relations in the construction that seem to belong to pole 3. The ancient latitude during Pole 3 of Chaco Canyon was around 43.3 degrees. Today it is around 36.1 degrees. We have two variables here, a different orientation and a different latitude. And if these two variables match with the typical configuration of Pueblo Arrojo, we have successfully tested and proven our claim. By using our formula that we have developed for testing the solstices of ancient sites, we have found that the solstices of Pole 3 match typical features in the configuration of Pueblo Arrojo, as we are showing here. The solstice angles of this location of Pole 3 were 33.2 degrees. Our claim that Chaco Canyon follows the migration of the geographic pole now jumps from 98% to over 99.9%. There's no need for further testing to establish the true age of Chaco Canyon. We could continue to look for more evidence and interesting things. However, the world is so full of other amazing ancient structures that might interest our readers and our viewers. You also see that not all structures have to match the poles. We do not need to bend ourselves in all directions like science often does to prove our claims. Every claim that is supported by evidence and testing of our theory that delivers the results over 95% is rock-solid scientific proof. In summary, Chaco Canyon's true age stretches out over more than 400,000 years into the ancient past, and that is an incredibly long history. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you!